Bryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your enterprise?
Yeah, so just some background, public safety agencies like police or fire departments or EMS or security, they use something called computer-aided dispatch and record management systems to manage and track first responders and emergencies. And I've spent almost 10 years in public safety and noticed a common problem. All these systems are outdated, they're hard to learn, and they're extremely expensive. So it's pretty hard for smaller agencies to afford them. So my brother and I started a company called 108 Systems. We created a modern cloud-native software suite, which is offered as an affordable monthly subscription, which means that we can bring these powerful tools to public safety agencies of all size, from 2 officers to 50 officers to a few hundred officers. And it's all backed by Amazon's GovCloud, so it's incredibly affordable. My software is so easy to use. For example, within 48 hours of receiving access, the Coast Guard and volunteer groups began to use the software to dispatch rescues and save over 650 people in Hurricane Dorian. And since our launch in January of 2019, we've processed over 230,000 calls in in 48 states.
Wow, that's really good. And what did you ask the students to do?
So when we started working with students, we were still pretty new. We needed to build out a plan for our future and get some other perspectives on who exactly we should be marketing to and how. I'd love to market to every public safety agency type out there, but unfortunately, that's just not super feasible. With the 2 of us, when we were first starting, it was just the 2 of us. So we were able to use these perspectives to figure out who we needed to market to, how. We were able to get some pretty lengthy reports and research done that neither my brother or I would be able to have done with our own time.
Got it. And what did you like best about your experience?
It's pretty incredible getting to have so many different points of views. Usually when you think of students and people that be working with us, you think of some 18-year-old with no life experience, just coming and giving you some advice, but that really wasn't the case with Cal State Fullerton at all. We had students from all walks of life, all ages. We had young students, we had old students, we had people with previous years of working. And so it was really cool getting to get the perspective of all these different peoples outside of just my brother and I. It was really valuable.
Nice. And you talked a little bit about navigating the issues of some businesses commonly when they're first starting out, they want to target everybody, right? How did you go about navigating that problem and who your target market was going to be?
So initially, like I said, when I first started, I wanted to be marketing to everyone. I wanted every police department, every fire department, every ambulance company, every security company, but that's obviously not super practical. So when we were starting out, we started to kind of build some proof and get some people saying, hey, this software works, it's good. And a lot of government contracts are pretty hard to get. They're hard to get, and they also take a long time. So from the time that you start trying to acquire that contract to the time you get it, it can be a couple of years down the line. So we definitely learned that we needed to start with people like small private security companies who had no bureaucracy, could just sign up and be using the platform and start giving us those testimonials that would be critical for going for all those other types of customers.
Got it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about some of these student recommendations and how you think they're going to help you achieve some of your goals?
Yeah, so the recommendations were great. They helped give us a guide to follow over the next few years as our business grows and expands. They told us where we should, even from everything from who we should market to, how we should market, how we should be spending our money, to even where we should get a headquarters at one day. So, it was really valuable to kind of give us that guiding light over the next few years as we expand and grow. So we're not just kind of shooting in the dark.
I see. And after you've learned all this stuff and you obviously keep growing as a business, what's a piece of advice you'd give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely find something you're passionate about and try to make your way in it. I spent years as a volunteer at the sheriff's department. I spent years as an EMT, which I still do now on the side. I was very passionate about public safety. I still am. And I was passionate about computers and programming. And I think you can really create a really wonderful business and a wonderful impact on the world if you take the things you're passionate about and try to make your ways in them. Well, and don't give up. Sometimes it'll look like it's a dead end, but I promise you, if you keep pushing, great things will come.
How long ago did you start this business?
We started in January of 2019. And at that time we had one customer, and it was a snowplow company on the East Coast. And they literally were like $75 a month just to get us going. And so ever since then, we've been getting these new customers, and we've had a bunch of things. We just got our first contract with LA County for one of their departments out there. So it's pretty cool. It's like, wow, like I finally, because most of our customers are on other parts of the country. California has so many requirements for so many different things. It's pretty hard to make something compliant for California. And so it's pretty cool to get our first one here. It's like, oh my God, this is finally, I can go somewhere and see one of my customers actually in person.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I'm stoked for you. That's really great, dude. It's
Thank you.
inspiring, right? Yeah, it's inspiring to listen to you, and hopefully other people get inspired too.
I hope so. I mean, it's in the computers, because I'm a computer science student. I'm
Mm.
still trying to. This should be my last semester, hopefully. I'm like a super senior. But it's fun because like a lot of in computer science they teach you like, you know, this is you graduate, you go get a job somewhere. That's it. You go work for someone for 30, 40 years, and then you retire. And so I think it's really important because computer science students, I mean, we can make anything on a computer. You come up with it, you can make it happen. And so I think it's important to try to spread the word like, hey, you can do your own thing. You can break from the status quo. You can start your own business, do whatever you dream. You don't have to be that person that graduates and goes and picks up coffee for a couple years.
Yeah, or goes works that 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. So it was probably pretty refreshing then, and you probably definitely got a different mindset and some new ideas by working with these business students. Because I'm sure everybody in computer science doesn't know exactly how to start up a business,
Yeah,
right?
no, I really, like I said, I really thought it was going to be like JJ was like, hey, do you guys want to help us out and be a business with this? And have some students. We need some more companies. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I really genuinely thought it was going to be a bunch of 18-year-olds that, have never had a job. And, oh, well, my professor said this, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll take everything with a grain of salt. But, it really I was really surprised. We had a student who I think he was in his 50s. And he had a whole career before this. We had another person who has a whole career, but she's doing this at night to, get her degree. And it's like, it was really cool to get that perspective of people that we don't have just between my brother and I. I mean, he's a business guy. I'm a programmer. We don't really, it was cool to get all these other perspectives from other people that I probably wouldn't speak to otherwise, because I'm computer science, where our schools don't really talk to each other ever. So it was cool getting to meet a bunch of business students and talk to them and hear their ideas. And yeah, it was really cool.
Definitely. And why don't we hit it with this last question? Why do you recommend this service to others?
I think it's a really great way to grow your team and get some valuable insights about your business and its workings. These students really are not what you would think when you think of a student. These are people that are experienced, they're educated, and it's a really quick way to grow your team and get a ton of information from your business that you would never be able to do on your own.